Hey there, let's take another look at key attack creation. So, this little fancy little menu right here, what this is, these are 4 attacks I haven't created yet. Let's create one. Let's go ahead and make a laser. It's new. I'll show it later in this video. So here it is. Get the laser right there. You can move it around and whatnot. Obviously, this was last video, so go watch that one if you haven't. But let's talk about the stats. So these have had some changes. Last video, they were sliders and blah, blah, blah. I want to point out the visual options like the sound and the animation. Those are just on a different page now, so don't worry about those. Just haven't added the page yet, okay? So, what you have right here, damage, size, travel speed, charge speed, and energy cost. What's going on here? I have some points I can allocate, typical RPG style here. So, if I want to go, throw everything in the damage, I can. You only start with 8 points. Where do I get the rest of the points? Well, that's going to come from key attack leveling. For those of you that have been playing DBZ for a while, you'll be familiar with this. However, it's not going to work like DBZ because evidently we're not using DBZ elements here where it's starting from scratch, etc. There will be an XP and a leveling system tied to key attacks. Totally unsure of how you'll get that XP. One thing I want to mention, there will be a lot of TP involved in creating key attacks. You will also be able to change your type of key later. So like when I make an attack and I put points into it and level it, you'll be able to spend TP to respec it to take all the points out, as well as spend TP to change type of key attack. So that will allow you to not just waste all that TP and time leveling. Basically, I'm leveling slot 3 or whatever this is for my key attack, right? Move number 3. So if you want to change it to whatever, you can, because, it's just the learned experience of the key attack. So let's talk about stats in more depth. Now, talking about how these points will affect things, let's take a look at it. Damage will go up 3% per point. Now, I want to emphasize here that no scaling has been done. All these numbers are incredibly relative. So, take it with a grain of salt, basically, because, these numbers are just here for a demo. But an idea is, okay, I put a point into damage, I get 3% more damage per point, negative 1% charge speed, negative 2% energy cost. That's still the core idea of those sliders, where you put points into damage, the other things get nerfed to compensate, okay? So, things like size will decrease travel speed, charge speed, and energy cost. Travel speed will decrease size, increase or decrease energy cost, and charge speed decreases damage, size, and energy cost. And then energy cost will pretty much decrease everything because, yeah. Okay, so obviously, again, all relative numbers, but it's the basic idea of you get something, you lose something, because it's, it's not fair to just get free damage at the cost of nothing. Otherwise, you'll just probably always spec in the damage, because another thing that is important to mention is the different key attacks, the types, will have different inherent stats, which will obviously be displayed in some capacity, probably your overall percent and stuff, because evidently a laser is going to move a lot faster than even a disc, or obviously a big blast would be like the slowest thing. So stuff like that, they'll have different damage scaling, size, travel speed. They'll have different scaling for all 5 of these stats inherent to them. So you might want to spec a laser. You might not even need to bother giving it more travel speed. That might be useless because it's already really good at that. So you might just max out its damage so it's like a sniper rifle, that sort of stuff. I'll add displays for that. Probably by the time we see this again, you'll have a lot more detailed info. But for now, I just wanted to get the point of the stats across because a lot of people had a lot of great feedback. By the way, thank you all. I really appreciate all the feedback on the slider stuff. It helped me kind of get to where this is now, and I hope you guys like this better now. So obviously we have all of that there. Let's throw a couple points into some other things. These won't actually affect the blast right now because evidently this is just testing. So let's take a look at this key laser here. So I'm going to, actually, if I wanted to change the type, this is how you do it. You just go back to this screen, and then this is move selection here. So this will show all your moves. Let's just quickly, that's a bug. Let's create the classic one that I've made like 7 times at this point. Classic, cannot go wrong. All into travel speed, right? So just select that, make sure it's selected. Throw a quick little disc, classic. So talking about the laser, a few things to mention. The laser is evidently really fast, really small, and can pierce through enemies. So there's no limitations on this. The only limit is it's only going to hit them once. It's not like a disc. It's not like the It's not going to be like the spiral or how the wave can hit a few times. No, it's going to pierce through as many enemies as you can line up. Evidently, like in my example here, I have 5 enemies, but we all know there's not many quests where you're even going to be piercing enemies, which will probably be something we're going to address by maybe some more multi-enemies. That might be fun, but we'll see on that. So there's no damage drop-off, there's no slowdown, and it can only hit enemies a single time. Evidently, it can also go through blocks, just like the disc. Yeah, so laser looks pretty cool. Pretty happy with this one. It's got a cool little, like, you hold your arm and do a little pistol thing, you know, like a little recoil effect, you know, that kind of thing. So I'm going to quickly also show Big Blast. It hasn't changed pretty much at all since the last video. The only difference is explosion exists now. There's no visual for it yet, but when I throw this Big Blast at the ground, enemies will be impacted as you'd expect by this big explosion hitting the ground. Great. Also, I'm going to show Beam again because it's finally back at a visual state where you can see it. So, yeah, this is the Beam. It looks pretty cool. I cleaned up a couple things, like the Beam no longer stutters. You might have noticed in previous videos the Beam, the end of it by me would just stutter and jitter. So that's been fixed. Okay, so I'm really happy with where this is turning out so far. All of these little visuals I added. I'm very, very proud of this right now. So feel free to leave any comments you have down below. Let me know how you're liking it, if you like it, hopefully. Yeah, other than that, that's going to be it for this combat demo. As I always say, I'm absolutely loving making these. It's been amazing to see your guys' feedback so fast with all of this. So I just want to give a shout out to you guys for keeping up with all these combat demos and being patient with the update. Yeah, see you next time.